Hey everybody, it's Sean from The Sean Show, and today I am going to do a quick tutorial. I'm super excited to tell you about this. What's happening is that Hitfilm has released a free version of their a full, not a demo version, not a halfway version, something like that, a full version of their software. It's called Hitfilm 3 Express, and this, God, if I just watched the video that Film Riot did. Ryan Connolly and his team of maniacs got together and made a video kind of showing some of the just what you can do with this software, and it's amazing. And honestly, I mean, for a lot of us, I got started out with as far as free software goes, if you're on a Mac, iMovie. If you're on a PC, you're probably working with Windows Live Movie Maker or Windows Movie Maker. I know that's what I was using for years and years and years, and God, if I had been able to start out with this, like Ryan's even saying it right now, it would have been a godsend. So I'm going to take you through just a quick getting started for everybody out there that has been using the two programs that I just talked about, which are basically just, you've got one timeline for your video, one timeline for your audio, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to show you, one, how to get the software, and two, just how to get started setting up. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do, let me minimize this, is we're going to go over, and you're literally just going to go ahead and Google in Hitfilm 3 Express. And no, I don't want any of that other nonsense. So now I will put the link to the direct link in here, but you're going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to bring you to this wonderful new capture page. And down here at the bottom is where you click to get Hitfilm 3. Down here at the very bottom, you're going to click on that. You're going to fill in your display name, email address, and of course create yourself a password. Select whatever version, what kind of genre you work under, and then go ahead and click send me the download. Get the download. You're going to get this little installer. Go ahead, click it, install it on your computer, where it'll create its own files and so on and so forth. I don't need that anymore. And as you can see, it just brings up a very simple, package installer. You go ahead. If you have Windows, it'll open up for that. If you have Mac, you can download the correct installer for either one. I've already installed it, so I'm not going to do it twice. Matter of fact, I can remove that. So now let's get into it. When we first launch, and we're going to go ahead and open up new, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of a walkthrough on getting started and some of the differences that you're going to be experiencing from when you open up like iMovie or say Windows Movie Maker to something that's a little more professional. Okay, so the first thing is, of course, we're going to have our template, and it's going to have, if we hit the drop down menu, we've got several here. And it's really cool. They've actually added, they've added Instagram at 24 frames a second, 25 or 30. Now, this is for information. NTSC versus PAL. Okay, PAL is European and and a couple other countries. NTSC is basically North America, and it's just a kind of a standardized format of film. Just here at the bottom, we can pick a template for what size you want. 720 HD at 23.976 frames per second. That is the equivalent. That's our today's modern digital equivalent of film speed. Just to let you know, that gives you this kind of normal motion blur that we're used to seeing in film. 30 frames is television. Okay, so it's a little more fluid, a little quicker. Not a big difference, but it's something that we're kind of used to. So, and then of course those are HD for internet, and then we have an entire lovely selection. So I'm going to go ahead and pick. Let's go ahead and pick NTSC. At that's film. I'm going to go ahead and pick. There we go. So we can go ahead to here. From here we can go to start compositing or start editing. I'm going to go to start editing. Click. There we go. Okay. Now, excuse me again. Welcome to I know some of this is going to look very daunting, and I have to admit I'm just had a little bit of time to fly through this, but I'm going to start showing you a few ways on how to do editing when you're excuse me again, when you're working with multiple tracks of audio and video. So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to import some footage, right? So let me go ahead to import media, and you can of course grab several different things, but we're just going to grab some media. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to hunt down some stock footage for you. Alright, so I went to my documents and I found my stock footage folder, and I'm just going to select several clips here. Now, in order to select more than one, I hold down Control, and then I make my selection. Well, it just unselected it. And so select, and select, and then I can hit open, and it will import the files over here into, excuse me again, it will import the files over here into this nice little area, project media area. Now this is really nice. So we've got media, we've got our effects, and if we open up the drop menus, as you can see, each one has a difference. So first, let's go ahead and grab some media, and let me drag it over here to my, now, it's giving me my first question. I am really sorry this thing keeps popping up. I have no control over it. Editor sequence. Do I want to match the editor sequence settings to match the clip? At this point, no. But sometimes you may or may not choosing, depending on what you're doing or what you're wanting to do. Usually I do match it. That's going to be if I've shot the footage myself. But right now I want to make sure that everything comes out. This could have been shot at, it is shot at 19, that's actually a 1080p file, and so I'm dragging it into a 720p template. But again, this is just for demonstration. This is just for people that have never used anything but more than one line, one timeline for your video, one timeline for your audio. So I'm trying to give an example. Now, as you can see, we've got already here, we've got a video 1, video 2. Now I'm going to grab another layer, and I'm going to drag it down to video 1, and I'm going to sync it up. So now I've got these kind of snapped to the edges here, and as you can see, now if I right click and if I hold, I can shrink, I can extend, or like I can't extend it because it's no longer that. I can shorten the duration of this file by right clicking and moving my mouse left or right. So I'm not going to get into any of that. We're just going to grab some files and bring them over, and I'm going to drag this one up here and drop it in, and as you can see, it's already made a third track here. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, and I want to make sure that I point something out. With the way that these are aligned, okay? Let's line them all up just for fun. and then I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to start scrubbing a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to press, you can hit play or I hit spacebar. But you can hit play here and it'll play it, and spacebar pauses it. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 layers of footage, but we're only seeing, here's a shot of the actual file that we've selected here. And over here, we've got our 3D marker, which will allow us to, well, this is for if we want to rotate the image and move it and compositing, and again, later on. But basically, simply put, we're looking downwards. If you imagine this area right here as each layer being a piece of clear plastic or a sheet of paper, right? And each layer is a different sheet of a clear sheet, and if you stack them all on top of each other, you get the image, right? So imagine the camera is here looking down, right? At least for the purposes of this information. So if I were to move this forward, we're always going to be seeing the track that's selected on top. Okay? Now we can change that by changing the opacity of different layers and sliding things together, and I'm not going to get into any of that right now. I'm just going to explain what this is. We're always going to be seeing the layer on top. So for the purposes of this quick demonstration, I'm going to move this one out to here and move this one over here. And so now if we go back and we scrub through it, we can see that we can now see we're looking at track 2, and then it's going to immediately quick change and it's going to go to track 1, and I'm going to bounce it forward here and hit spacebar again, and boom. So if you're kind of getting an understanding that instead of having all of your video footage, like if I remember correctly from Windows Movie Maker, this is kind of what all of it would be. It would all be on one track, right? And then you'd have only one audio track, and that would, well, it gets annoying. It does. So let's go ahead and import some more media. I'm going to bring in some audio tracks here. So I'm going to go to my video production, and I'm going to go up to, let's see, where's my audio? Music and sound effects. Let's go to, now again, a great resource for music is Kevin MacLeod on incomptech.com. I will, of course, list him in the notes in the description here, because this is a fantastic, he has an incredible effects, sounds, soundtracks, stuff that you can use royalty free. As long as you credit him, you can put it in your movie, you can put it in your project, whatever you're using for, you can use it. Check out his FAQ on his website. Again, that's incomptech.com. A link will be in the description. But you can use his music in dang near everything. And if you want to buy, say if you can't credit him, if you're doing a corporate promotion or some kind of professional piece that doesn't allow you to put in a credit reel at the end, then you can just go ahead and purchase the sound or the song that you like and get the rights to it so you can use it. But as you can see, I have spent a lot of time there, and again, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control, and I'm going to make several selections, and there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hit Open, and it's going to drag those into my imported media. And again, all of this is down here. Now I can it's arranging by name. I can group these by folder. Again, this is going to be a super quick tutorial. Well, not quick. Nothing I do is ever quick, and I apologize for everybody out there for me saying that, because it's never quick. But it's going to be a very simple tutorial because I just want to give a little bit of an idea non-linear editing and the concepts that we're talking about using more than one track. So let's grab a video, or pardon me, grab one of the audio tracks, and I'm going to grab another one, put it right there, and we're going to grab another one and put it right there. Now the cool thing is with audio is you can actually overlap them, and depending on the way that the program is working, you can get kind of some interesting effects by overlapping different layers of audio. To everybody out there who's an audio engineer, you already know what I'm talking about. To everybody out there that is not an audio engineer, I will explain. You can take a certain beat, put that down, and then you can add other. It's basically you're building it just like you would be building with the video. Again, the same thing here is, for example, now say that I've got a nice long track here of a video that I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and back this up a little bit, and I'm going to turn that down because that's going to come over quite loud, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. Okay, so I don't know how well that came over, but we'll see. Now if I move this over, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's actually going to be playing both of these audio clips simultaneously. Now sometimes that works. You'll get a nice background layer clip, and let's get that out of the way. Try this. There you go. Okay, so we've got two different there. Now, of course, as you can see, I can now adjust the volume of which one. So I can tell one to be this one, Teller of Tales, which I don't. Let's see what that sounds like by itself. And it's almost impossible to hear. Now let's bring it back up, and that's what it sounds like. So we've got that. We bring this in, lower that down a bit. Oh, God, I'm really sorry about that. And then we've got the descent playing through it. So you can mix and match and get some really interesting stuff there. And we've got 3 pieces of audio, we've got 3 pieces of video. So we want to make sure that we can see each of these, right? Now remember what I said is that when you start going, I'm going to go ahead and remove this one over here, and let's get it off of here because I don't like that one. I'm not a big fan of this one either. And I'm going to bring this one up a little bit, but at least you now have an idea that you see that it can be done. All right, okay, so by lining these up, and as you can see, I'm going to turn that down a bit. Now we're going to run it through. The volume is up there, so we've got our music playing. Okay, so now why is this useful? That somebody might be asking that right now. And let's go ahead and import one more thing. Let me go ahead, grab media, and I'm going to go to my document. Okay, so what I did was I grabbed a picture, just a regular photo of myself. All right, now this is going to represent either a watermark or possibly a logo that you've already designed, something, maybe it's a subscribe button, whatever you like. We brought that in, and I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the track, and I'm going to bring it back in so that you can see how I did that. So I'm going to bring it in, and as you can see, we're not seeing it. Oh, and now we can't see anything except that, right? How annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the end, and I'm going to hold down, I'm going to left click, and I'm hold and drag. So I'm dragging that out for the entire length of, and I don't need all that audio, so I'm going to shorten that audio up. So now we've got everything roughly about 1 minute long. And so now I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to move, or I'm going to just, again, I'm just left click. Yeah, it is left click. And I'm going to select one of the points. Okay, as you can see, we're stacking layers here. So you can see we've got this layer selected, right? So I'm just going to grab one of these points. Now I'm going to press and hold, and then I'm going to hold shift. And that's going to allow me to shrink this down. I'm going to let go of everything, and I'm going to grab the thing by right clicking and bring it back in. Now I can see a little bit better. And I'm going to hold shift again as I hold down my my left mouse button, and I'm going to just drag down. I'm just pulling downwards on the mouse while I'm holding that, right? You can go in and out, left, right, up, down, whatever. So I'm going to drag it down until it's nice and small, like logo size, right? And now I can grab the entire thing, and I can slide it to the bottom right or top left, pardon me, bottom right, top left. But anyway, so okay, we've got our image there, and it's, you know, that's not I wouldn't use a white, you know, background. I would use something with a transparent background, but just for example here, and I can actually reduce the opacity of that. So as you can see, I'm dragging down right here, bringing it all the way up, or I can make it invisible. Okay, so now that will stay there throughout the entire clip. And again, we did a video just not long ago about watermarking. The whole thing was a little bit weird to me. This is a little bit more user-friendly for someone that's ready to get started, you know, moving things around and using more than one layer or more than one audio. So as you can see, I've added a video or an image here, but I could very easily take this, do the exact same thing to this image. I'm going to go ahead just for an example. Let's grab that. Now shift is what helps keep it in proportion. If I let go of shift, I get this really weird thing. But if I go ahead and grab shift again, that way it keeps it proportioned. So now I can move this up, and let's do that just for fun. And now I can move this video back over, and now and let me move that down, and I'll bring the opacity back up. And now what do we have? We have a picture in picture and video in video, as you can see. And we have the audio track that we want to play behind it, and as you can see, that one, you know, faded out. So let's bring this track up a layer. Now we've got 4, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 video and 3 audio, even though there's nothing on those audio tracks at the moment. So I hope that this is giving you an idea about, and I think this is a good example right here of what we can do. We've got this other rainstorm video, right? So we're going to move that up, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. We're going to use our snow image as the background, but I'm going to just shrink this down, and I'm just holding shift, holding down the left keep button, and so now here's the cool part. Oh, hang on, sorry. The cool part is coming, I swear. Alright, so let's get rid of me. Let's get me out of there because I don't need to be there. We can put these both. And I'm going to shrink these up so they match in duration. And now we can move one video over here, and we can click on that to select it, hold shift to shrink it down a little bit, hold this to, and then shift click, bring up the size a little bit, and let's just, I could spend like 2 hours trying to make these like exactly the right size, but I'm not gonna. So anyways, so we've got that, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete my image off there, and I'm gonna drag them back on. I wonder how many tracks I can get away from this. I guess it's gonna be, I haven't played with this long enough yet, but don't worry, there'll be more. But anyways, I think you guys are getting the basic concept here, is that actually we could do this, we can do that, and then I can go ahead and slide that there. And let's do this one more time. Just right click, shift, now it's left click and slide down. And again, I'm using my image as a, oh, I want this one. Control Z. For anybody, if you're not familiar, Control Z and then Control Alt Z will continue to will save you. If you end up, see, I'm selecting them all right now. I want to select just my image, so let's Control Z out where I screwed all that up. Just go to my image, and so now I'm just moving mine and nothing else. And so now I can grab onto that shift key and shrink that down. And then we've got, for example, you've got your watermark or your subscribe button, and then you've got your video, 2 videos playing within the same track with your audio. And if we go ahead and hit spacebar or play, I want you to do this. Now you can go right here and click directly to save this project. I would recommend that you come in here and you click Save As. You create a folder. I've got Hitfilm. I've created a folder for it. And so let's just name this Getting Started. I know that a lot of people I had some requests for people that were wanting to know how to do, they wanted to know how to do certain effects and certain things. And unfortunately, without spending $500 or $300 on software, you just couldn't do that. You can't do this with Windows Live Movie Maker unless you just want to text. You know, if you just want a text layer or whatever, there's just, unfortunately, there's some limitations to some software. And so this is going to open up some really amazing doors. So I can only stress this enough: save as and save often. Now I save as just so I don't mess up an original project video. So I'm just going to hit Get Started 1, and I'm going to hit Save. Now that I've named this project, and I know that I'm going to be coming back to this one, you know, again and again and again. Again, I really want to get into more, but I'm not going to. We've run, I think, at least half an hour already, and that's way too long for getting started. But I rant, and that's me, and that's why you're either watching this or saying I suck. Either one. So anyways, for anybody out there that's just getting started doing your own video, whether it's video marketing or you want to make films, if you're an aspiring filmmaker and you're just getting started and you don't have oodles and oodles of money to spend on programs, this is really going to get you started well. But for the time being, I hope that this at least gives you an idea of what we're talking about here as far as a multi-track or multi-layer video editing software and what it can allow you to do. So till next time, this is Sean from The Sean Show, and I hope you all have a great day, have a nice time, and take care.